Okay, we're talking to the #1 female on Vine, Brittany Furlan.
Hello. Hi.
Brittany, tell us, how did you become #1 in less than a year? That's remarkable.
Oh my gosh. I mean, in less than a year, I don't even know how it happened. I just started making videos. I was bored. I saw, someone promoted the app on Instagram, and I was like, oh, that looks really cool. Let me try it. And so I just started making all these videos, and people just started liking them progressively, and I started seeing my following going up, like inching up, and then all of a sudden, boom, it just like it started catapulting. It's just been really fun. It's amazing. To be funny in 6 seconds is actually really hard. I mean, you have 6 seconds to make someone laugh. Like, that's usually when you tell a joke, you get to build for at least a minute. You know what I mean? But with this, it's like you have to be funny. So, I mean, you know what? I now that I'm at like over 300 posts, I'm starting to struggle with ideas because I've done so many ideas. But I will only post if I find something if I find it funny. I mean, some stuff hits, some stuff doesn't. But I mean, I find, if I'm laughing, then I'm like, okay, I'll post it. Why not? So I'm so random. Like, my characters and my ideas just come from walking around and like looking at things or looking at videos or whatever. And I was just out one day at the mall, and I think it's so funny because in LA, whenever I go somewhere, I feel like there's always just like little kids unattended, like, where are their parents? You know what I mean? I always just wanted to say something like, where are your parents, type thing. So instead I made a joke out of it. Like, I was like, I'm gonna creep on these little kids. And so I went up, the first one I did was where I went up to this little girl was in the gaming store, and her mom was like out in the mall, and her little brother was with her, and he kept calling her, and she wasn't coming. And so I went up to her, and I was like, I'm gonna creep on this little girl, and I was like, hey, little girl, where's your mommy? And her face was just like she could not believe like what was happening. And then you hear her brother like, no, and like she like runs off with her brother. It was hilarious. And people were like, oh my god, you're gonna get arrested. But I'm literally just going up to them being like, where's your mom? Like, go find your mother. But I'm just doing it in a funny way. I came up with this character, the beekeeper, who has a mustache like the beekeeper's a redneck hick. I came up with him when I was watching a Nicki Minaj video, and she had that song, bees in the trap, bees, in the trap. And I was like, what a weird thing, like bees in your vagina? Like, that's kind of, like, really uncomfortable. Like, that sounds very uncomfortable, actually. Yeah. So I thought how funny it would be if I was like, hello, y'all, I'm a beekeeper. If you need any, I'll get all the bees out your trap. You know what I mean? So I just created this character, and I did it for the first time on Vine, and people were like, oh my god, the beekeeper. And they loved it, and they demanded more beekeeper. And so then I established, like, jokes with the beekeeper, where I would do, like, daily jokes with the beekeeper, I would have, like, a little intro, and then, like, why does a bee drive a car? And just, like, really lame jokes, and, like, I don't know, he's a fucking bee. And then just drink alcohol, like, just, like, the worst joker ever. Just like a beekeeper who doesn't even really keep bees. I don't know. He's been like this crazy character that I've been developing, and then I've developed a bunch of characters off of him. Like, I have Abdul Shien, who's like a sick yoga teacher who just like wants to molest people, like, girls, like, just like all horny, that yoga teacher when you go to yoga class and they put you in the position and they just have like a huge boner and you're like, all right, well, I'm good, I'm stretched, thanks. Like, it's very, so I have him, and then I have like Natalie Nature, who is like, she only eats organic, and she's like all the vegans in LA, and she believes in like, not wearing fur, and just very like, she loves trees, and her tagline is, I love it, and people are like obsessed, like, people love it. They love it. They do it all the time. They make their own videos, like, cause Natalie Nature's basically just like the extreme of all those people in LA that are like, oh my god, like, I can't really like touch that since that touched an animal, like, they're very. So she basically, which I'm not hating on those people because I love animals and I don't believe, I'm not vegan, but, but yeah, so basically Natalie Nature, like, her first video was that, like, she just hugged a tree and she's like, welcome to my backyard. This is my tree. I love it. Like, just loves everything. I love it. Look at this bush. I love it. Like, just loves nature so much. So then people make their own videos and it's really funny. Like, they'll hold up, like, their dog and they'll be like, this is my dog. I love it. Like, so I've had so much fun, and I've had so much fun watching people's remakes. That's it's been, like, it cracks me up seeing people do their own impressions and they get into it. Like, they put the headbands and the sunglasses and, like, whatever. It's awesome.